start at the dots and go in opposite directions, that's or. Okay? So, my letter was T. So, T is less than -1. And my circle's open, so I know it's not equal to. Or T is greater than 3. Oh, I'm sorry, 0. I'm looking at the test thingy. My bad. The 0 because it was the restriction on the denominator. One of the numbers is your restriction. The other number is what you find when you solve it. Now, if you have more than one restriction, then you have to put all of them. Okay? All right, what was the next one? Parker's not happy to see you. Okay. Is that right?
Yes.
Picky heads up. Let's pay attention. All right, first we do our restrictions. What can y not equal? Okay. Another thing it can't equal is what we're going to find here because there's no equal to sign. What's the common denominator for 3, 6, and 4?
12y.
12y. Okay? 12y. Y is going to cancel. 12y. 12y. All right, so that's 24 divided by 3. 60 divided by 6. And 36 divided by 4. I'm supposed to be saying equal, sorry. Okay, so my other open circle is at 2. Well, it can't because there's no equal to symbol. All right, so 0 and 2. Wow. Where's my regions? Pick a test number. Right, and we're putting open circles. We should be putting open circles. Okay? 2/3, 5/6, 3/4. Okay. If y is equal to -1, that means this is -2/3 minus 5/6 is greater than 3/4. True or false? False. That's a negative number, and negatives are never bigger than positives. All right? If y is 1, that's 2/3 plus 5/6 is greater than 3/4.
No.
It is true. Okay, if we take a common denominator and eliminate all the fractions, multiply here by 12, you get 8 plus 10 is greater than 9. And that's true. And if y is equal to 3, that's 2/9 plus 5/18 is greater than 3/4. Common denominator for 9, 18, and 4 would be what? 36. Multiply by 36. 9 goes into 36 4 times. 18 goes into 36 twice. 4 goes into 36 9 times. So that's 8 plus 10 is greater than 27. False. So is this and or, Ryan? And. My letter was Y. It's located between 0 and 2. My arrow's pointing towards the smaller number. There's no colored in circles anywhere. That's your answer.
So you have
No, I asked. Yeah, okay. And then finally, number 29. 29 was hard because you had radicals to deal with. And it wasn't even an inequality. So all we had to do was solve and get our answer. Okay? First thing I see is this is subtraction, so I'm going to say plus negative. Next thing is I need to make sure I identify my restrictions. What are they? Plus or minus 3/2. Okay, so that's just to test at the end, not test, but just to make sure when I get my answer, it's not that. Okay, because this is not an inequality, you don't have to test. Just get your answer. All right, we're going to multiply by the common denominator. How many terms, by the way, are there in this equation? 3 terms. What's the common denominator? 2q plus 3, 2q minus 3. Okay, watch as I say it. 2q plus 3, 2q minus 3. 2q plus 3, 2q minus 3. And here I need them both because there's nothing to cross out. Right? Okay, so the fractions are gone. Now I need to distribute here. I get 4q squared minus 6q. There, negative 4q squared minus 6q. And on the other side, what's that going to give me? 4q squared minus 9. Very good. That's the difference of 2 perfect squares because it's the same numbers, but one's plus and one's minus. So the middle term goes away. All right, putting my like terms together here, 4q squared minus 4q squared is 0. Negative 6 and negative 6 is negative 12q. What kind of equation is this if there's a squared term? It's a quadratic equation. How do we solve quadratic equations? Set it equal to 0. Okay, now remember I want to keep my first term positive. So we're going to move this over there by adding 12q to both sides. All right, now I want you to be careful here. We can either factor or use the formula. Can that trinomial be factored? Why not?
Yeah, it can. 2 and 2 and 3. No, because it has to add up.
That's right. It looks like it could. It looks like you could say 2q and 3, 2q and 3, but the problem is there's a minus sign in front of 9. Okay? To be a perfect square trinomial, there would have to be a plus sign in front of 9. So no, it can't be factored. Well, if we can't factor, what's our other option? Quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 12 squared or 144, minus 4 times a times c over 2a. All right? Minus times negative makes that plus. 16 times 9 is 144. So 144 plus 144 is 288. Now when you're dealing with a radical, you have to simplify. Okay, and this is not that hard because isn't 288 2 times 144? And what's the square root of 144? 12. Now, if 12, 12, and 8, because they're all whole numbers, can all be reduced by the same number, then we need to reduce. 4 goes into all 3 of those numbers. So your final answer is negative 3